There is a boot made in Northampton, England that costs $480. It is Goodyear-welted. The leather is full-grain calf sourced from English tanneries. The last was developed over decades of refinement. It can be resoled. It will develop a patina over years of wear that makes it look more valuable at year 10 than at year 1. There is a boot with a designer name that costs $1,400. It is cemented. The leather is corrected grain. The last was designed for visual fashion appeal. When the sole fails, the boot is finished. Most American men will buy the $1,400 boot because the name is recognizable and the price implies the quality. The $480 boot does not advertise. The brand does not have a flagship store. There is no campaign telling you it exists. The only way to find it is to understand construction well enough to look for it. This video is about the brands that require looking for. The ones that do not compete for shelf space at Nordstrom, the ones that do not sponsor athletes or place product with celebrities, the ones that have decided, consciously and consistently, that the money goes into the garment rather than into the campaign. They are not cheap, they are not niche in the sense of being inferior. They are hidden in the sense that they have never paid for visibility, and the customer who finds them pays for the product rather than for the cost of being found. By the end of this video, you will know 6 brands producing at genuine luxury standards without the luxury price tag, and you will understand precisely why the price is lower, what that means for the product, and how to verify the quality claim before you spend $1. Tricker's English shoemaking at half the London price. The English shoemaking tradition in Northampton produces some of the finest footwear in the world. Most American men know one name from that tradition: Church's. Church's was acquired by Prada in 1999 and has since been managed as a fashion-positioned brand with prices that reflect Prada's conglomerate infrastructure rather than Northampton's craft standards. A Church's Oxford retails at $600 to $900 in the United States. The construction is Goodyear-welted, genuine and correct. The leather quality has been documented by long-term observers as inconsistent relative to pre-acquisition standards. The price reflects Prada ownership. Tricker's has been making shoes in Northampton since 1829. It remains independently owned. It sells directly and through a small number of carefully selected retailers. It does not operate a global boutique network. It does not run advertising campaigns. It makes shoes. A Tricker's brogue, their most recognizable country shoe, retails in the United States at $480 to $560, depending on the leather and the configuration. The construction is Goodyear-welted throughout their range. The leather is full grain, sourced from English tanneries including Pittard's and Charles F. Stead. The last, the wooden form over which the shoe is shaped, has been in continuous use and refinement for generations of production. The finishing is done by hand at multiple stages: the welt edge, the sole edge, the toe cap boning. Compared to a comparable Goodyear-welted brogue from Church's at $750. The construction method is the same. The Tricker's leather sourcing is more consistently traceable. The Tricker's price is $300 lower. The difference is entirely the Prada ownership premium embedded in the Church's price, the cost of the conglomerate's acquisition, its retail infrastructure, and the fashion positioning it requires to justify its place in the Prada portfolio. Both are genuine Northampton shoes with genuine welted construction. Tricker's has never left Northampton in the ways that matter. The price reflects that. The craft is in the last. The last is in Northampton. The price is honest. Corridor, American menswear basics built to last. American menswear basics, the Oxford shirt, the chino, the simple sport coat have been dominated for 2 decades by brands that produce in Asia, charge mid-luxury prices and spend the margin difference skeet on lifestyle advertising that makes standard commercial construction feel aspirational. Corridor is a New York-based brand founded in 2013 that has quietly built one of the most honest menswear basics operations in the American market. It produces in New York City's garment district and in domestic facilities where it controls the production standard directly. It does not advertise in the conventional sense. It sells through its own channels and through a small number of independent retailers. A Corridor Oxford cloth button-down shirt retails at $185 to $225, depending on the fabric configuration. The fabric is sourced from established American and Japanese mills, and their Japanese Oxford cloth selections come from mills with decades of shirting production history. The collar construction uses adequate interlining with collar stays included. The seam construction is consistent with appropriate stitch density at stress points. The shirt is made in the United States at a production standard that most brands claiming American heritage have abandoned. Compare directly to a Polo Ralph Lauren Purple Label Oxford shirt at $295 to $395, American heritage positioning, production overseas, fabric specifications not consistently disclosed. The Corridor shirt is made in America. The Ralph Lauren shirt is made overseas with an American mythology premium. At $225 versus $350, Corridor delivers American production and disclosed fabric sourcing. Ralph Lauren delivers the polo player and a lifestyle campaign that has been running since 1967. The Oxford cloth is not the story at Ralph Lauren, the brand is the story. At Corridor, the cloth is the story because there is nothing else to sell. Made in New York, priced honestly. That is a rarer combination than it should be. Ironheart Japanese denim at its most uncompromising. The premium denim market in the United States is dominated by brands that have borrowed the vocabulary of quality, selvedge, raw Japanese, without consistently delivering the substance those words imply. A pair of AG Adriano Goldschmied jeans at $250 uses stretch blend denim with elastane. A pair of frame denim at $295 uses similar construction. The premium positioning is real. The denim engineering is not at the level the price implies. Ironheart is a Japanese denim brand founded by Shinichi Haraki in 1990, producing in Okayama, Japan, the center of Japanese selvedge denim manufacturing. It is the most uncompromising denim brand available to American consumers, and uncompromising is the precise word. Its denim weights begin at 21 ounces and reach 25 ounces in some production runs. Standard denim is 12 to 14 ounces. Standard premium selvage denim is 14 to 16 ounces. Ironheart's starting weight is heavier than what most American denim brands market as their most durable option. An Ironheart 21-ounce selvage jean retails in the United States at $435 to $500. The denim is woven on vintage shuttle looms in Okayama. The construction uses chain stitching at the outseam and inseam, producing the characteristic roping fade at the hem that develops over years of wear and is the visible signature of chain-stitched denim construction. The rivets are solid copper. The pocket bags are heavy duck canvas rather than the lighter cotton twill used in lesser denim. The waistband is reinforced to the weight of the fabric. A pair of Ironheart jeans is not a fashion product. It is an engineered textile product designed for multi-decade use. At 21 ounces, the denim does not soften quickly. It requires breaking in over months of wear before it conforms to the wearer's body. The resulting fit, unique to the individual, shaped by their specific movements and wear patterns, cannot be purchased. It is earned. Compared to True Religion at $220, post-bankruptcy, private equity-owned, standard open-end denim with decorative stitching, or to any stretch blend premium denim at $250 to $300. The Ironheart jean costs more at purchase. It costs less over a decade of use, because no other option in the American denim market produces a product designed to last that long. The denim is Japanese. The weight is serious, the fade is earned, the price is honest for what was made. How to find luxury quality without the luxury price? 4 verification tests. The brands in this video are not widely known because they do not pay for awareness. They are findable by any man willing to verify quality claims rather than trust marketing claims. These 4 tests verify the quality before the purchase. The ownership and independence test. The first indicator of honest pricing is ownership structure. A brand that is founder-owned or family-owned has no conglomerate margin requirement embedded in its pricing. A brand owned by LVMH, Kering, Capri Holdings or Authentic Brands Group carries the overhead of that ownership, the acquisition cost, the quarterly earnings requirement, and the conglomerate infrastructure in its retail price. The product is not 10 times better than a family-owned alternative at 1/3 the price. The ownership is 10 times more expensive. Before purchasing from any brand, spend 5 minutes determining its current ownership. If it is conglomerate-owned and publicly traded, the price includes margin extraction for shareholders that has nothing to do with the construction. If it is independently owned and privately operated, the price is more likely to reflect production cost and reasonable margin. This does not guarantee quality in independent brands. It removes the guaranteed inflation that conglomerate ownership introduces. The production transparency test. A brand confident in its production tells you where and how the product is made. Trickers discloses its Northampton production and its English leather sources. Ironheart discloses its Okayama production and its shuttle loom construction. Corridor discloses its New York garment district production. A brand that is vague about production, that says crafted with care or made to the highest standards without specifying location, method or material source, is protecting a production decision that would not survive comparison. The vagueness is not modesty, it is concealment. Look for mill names, tannery names, country of manufacture, and construction method in the brand's product descriptions. If the information is not there, ask directly before purchasing. The answer, or the inability to answer, is itself a quality signal. The material specification test. Read the fibre content label on every garment and compare the specification to what the price implies. For a $400 knitwear piece, is the cashmere 100% or blended? Is the wool grade specified as a super number? Is the cotton extra long staple or standard? A brand charging luxury adjacent prices for standard fibre content without disclosing that the fibre is standard is using the price to imply a quality that the material does not deliver. For footwear, is the leather specified as full grain or described generically as genuine leather or premium leather? Full grain is a specific classification. Premium leather is not. A brand that uses premium leather without specifying the grain level is hiding the grain level. The specification is the evidence. The marketing is the claim. Read the evidence before trusting the claim. The community verification test. Before purchasing from any brand at a price above $200, look for it in construction-focused communities where owners report on a long-term performance. Style Forum, Reddit's Denim and Goodyear-welted communities, and specialist YouTube channels focused on construction rather than aesthetics are where real owners report real results after real use. A brand that appears consistently in these communities with positive long-term construction reports, shoes that resoled cleanly at year 7, jeans that faded beautifully at year 3, sweaters that held their shape after 50 washings, has survived a level of scrutiny that advertising cannot replicate. The community has no financial incentive to recommend a bad product. The brand does. Trust the community's evidence over the brand's marketing. If you want to know what your clothes are actually worth before you spend the money, subscribe. This channel follows the construction, not the campaign. N.Peal, Scottish cashmere at a third of the fashion house price. A Brunello Cucinelli cashmere crewneck sweater retails in the United States at $1,200 to $1,800. The cashmere is genuine, the quality is real. But the price also includes the Solomeo philosophy, the founder's speaking career, the boutique retail network, and the brand's position as the leading quiet luxury name in the American market. A significant portion of what the customer pays is for the story of how the cashmere was made, not for the cashmere itself. N.Peal is a British cashmere specialist operating from Burlington Arcade in London, selling directly and online to American customers. It has specialised in cashmere since 1936. It does not make handbags, it does not have a perfume line. It does not produce seasonal fashion collections. It makes cashmere garments, and it has done so with consistent focus for nearly 90 years. A N.Peal crewneck sweater in their standard 2-ply cashmere retails at $395 to $550 depending on the weight and the colour. The cashmere is sourced from Inner Mongolia and processed in Scotland and Italy. The 2-ply construction, 2 individual cashmere yarns twisted together, produces a stronger, more pill-resistant structure than single-ply constructions used in some fashion house knitwear to reduce cost. The finishing is clean and consistent. The sweater holds its shape across seasons of regular wear in a way that single-ply or blended construction does not. Compare to a Brunello Cucinelli cashmere crewneck at $1,500. Both use Inner Mongolian cashmere processed in established European facilities. Both are genuine luxury fibre. The N.Peal is priced at 1/3 the Cucinelli without delivering 1/3 the product. The cashmere is equivalent. The construction is comparable. The difference is the brand premium, the Solomeo story, the Italian boutique, the philosophy that the Cucinelli customer is paying for alongside the sweater. N.Peal sweater does not come with a philosophy. It comes with cashmere at an honest price for the cashmere. The fibre is Scottish processed. The price is honest. The sweater is the point. Crockett Jones, Northampton's best-kept value secret. The Northampton shoemaking tradition produces multiple brands at different price points, from the entry-level accessible to the stratospheric. Most American men who discover Northampton shoes discover Edward Green or John Lobb first, because those brands appear in menswear content and command the prices that make them seem like the category standard. They are excellent. They are also $1,100 to $2,000 for a single pair. Crockett Jones has been producing in Northampton since 1879. It remains family-owned under the Jones family, the descendants of the original founders. It does not operate at the volume of Allen Edmonds or the price point of Edward Green. It occupies the precise middle of the Northampton market, producing at genuine craft standards with genuine English leather, genuine Goodyear-welted construction, and a genuine hand-finishing process that includes hand-burnishing on their higher grades, at prices between $500 and $750 for most of their Oxford and Derby styles. A Crockett Jones Audley, their classic cap-toe Oxford, retails in the United States at $595 to $650, depending on the leather selection. The construction is Goodyear-welted. The leather is sourced from English tanneries. The finishing on the sole edge and the welt is done by hand. The 325 last used for the Audley, has been in continuous production for generations and is one of the most elegant dress shoe lasts in the Northampton tradition. Compared to a Santoni Oxford at $650 to $800, an Italian brand widely sold through American department stores, using Blake stitch construction and corrected grain leather in many of their accessible production runs, with a retail markup that reflects their department store distribution cost. Blake stitch is resolable but less durable at the sole attachment than Goodyear-welted. Corrected grain does not develop a patina. The Santoni name carries Italian prestige positioning. The product does not consistently deliver the construction that pricing implies. At $620, a Crockett Jones Audley in Goodyear-welted with full-grain English leather is the more honest product. The Santoni costs more in some configurations and delivers less construction. The Crockett Jones name is less recognised in American retail because the brand has never invested in American retail presence. The product is its own advertisement to anyone who turns the shoe over. The welt is English. The family still owns the factory. The price reflects neither of those facts sufficiently, and that is the definition of a hidden gem. Conclusion. The brands in this video are not secrets in the sense that the information is hidden. The information is available. Trickers has a website. Ironheart ships to the United States. N.Peal sells online. Crockett Jones has American stockists. Corridor sells directly. The information is available to any man who looks for it. What makes these brands hidden is the economics of visibility. A brand that does not spend money on advertising does not appear in the places where most men discover clothing. The algorithm does not surface it, the department store does not carry it, the sponsored post does not feature it, the man who shops at Nordstrom, who reads mainstream menswear publications, who discovers brands through social media will not encounter these brands unless he goes looking, and he will not know to look unless he has first understood what he's looking for. What he is looking for is the relationship between price and product. The brands in this video have that relationship in order. The price reflects the production cost, the material cost, and a reasonable margin on a business that does not carry conglomerate overhead. What the price does not reflect is advertising, boutique retail leases, celebrity placement, quarterly earnings targets, or the cost of an acquisition that valued the brand name at hundreds of millions of dollars. Every dollar of conglomerate overhead that is not in a brand's pricing structure is $1 available for the material and the construction. Trickers spends that dollar on English leather and Goodyear-welted. Ironheart spends it on Okayama shuttle looms and 21-ounce denim. N.Peal spends it on 2-ply Scottish processed cashmere. Crockett Jones spends it on hand-burnished sole edges and English tannery leather. Corridor spends it on New York garment district production. The luxury price tag pays for everything around the product. The hidden gem price tag pays for the product itself. The man who finds these brands is not a bargain hunter. He is not settling for less. He is paying for what the conglomerate brands claim to sell and frequently do not. Construction that holds, leather that develops, fabric that lasts, and a relationship between price and product that does not require a marketing campaign to justify. The campaign is for people who have not looked closely. Close examination reveals the product. The product is the point. The label tells you what the brand wants you to believe. The construction tells you what they actually built. These brands built it. The price is the proof.